Alright, so in today's video we're going to be stripping down this wire here. Actually, we're not going to be stripping this down. This is what is classified as 65% recovery wire. We're just going to pull it off the spools and put it in a barrel, and we're going to take it to the scrapyard, and they pay $1.10 a pound for that. This is the wire that is strippable. Now, if you remember from my last video, I paid $291.50 for all this wire. So, but before we get into this, I had some people that were requesting I show them a scrap run. So that's what we're going to do. So this is my latest scrap run here. If you watched the last videos, I had some transformers which had a lot of copper in them. I took in, it says that insulated wire LG, 73 pounds. That was actually that ribbon wire that I got at this last auction I showed you in the other video, the ribbon wire. That paid 25 cents a pound, 73 pounds of it for $18.25. And then I had 48 pounds of the same thing, but it wasn't ribbon wire. It was actually the 18 gauge through the 24 gauge. I called this scrapyard, this place here, and they told me that they will pay $2.98 a pound for that. So I was like, all right, I'll take it there, because I can get 65 cents a pound at my other scrapyard. So anyways, I take it there, and they weigh everything up. I get my ticket, and it said 25 cents. I went back, and I asked them about it, and they said, oh, no, that's low recovery wire. We don't pay $2.98 for that, which I mean, I explained to the guy on the phone. I had 18 gauge wire, 18 through 24 gauge. I had a lot of spools of it, and what they pay, and he told me. So I just went off of what he said. I'd have never took it there if I'd have known they were going to pay a quarter, because I can get 65 cents a pound. But anyhow, you live and you learn, and that's just part of doing business there. I had number 2 copper there, 277 pounds, and the price went to $3.90 actually, so that was good for $1,080.30. And then the wire that I got from this last auction here was the Cat 5. So that pays $1.28 a pound. I had 44 pounds of that for $56. And the yellow brass, a majority of that was from those filters that I tore apart. And some of those pieces that I thought were aluminum, they turned out to be brass. And believe me, when I went there, they had their grinders out, and they were checking not just one little area, but all over to make sure that those were brass parts. And I ended up with 135 pounds at $2.35 a pound for $317. And man, that got me a grand total of $1,485. So I was happy with that. So that's my latest scrap run. So what we're going to do is this 65% recovery wire, all of this, Charlotte and I are going to just set it up, and we're just going to pull this stuff off the spools, and we're going to put it in a bucket, and then we're going to take it up to the scrapyard. And hopefully we got I don't know, hopefully we got 100 pounds. I have no idea, but we're going to find out. And then this is all the strippable stuff from that auction. Now some of this is going to be bare bright, and then some of it's going to be number 2 copper, because it's all silver coated, so that counts as number 2. But anyhow, we should have over $300 there. So this $291 auction is definitely going to pay off. All right, so let's get busy, and Charlotte and I are going to go ahead and strip this wire down. All right, let's see how fast we can strip this stuff down. It is 8:30. We're going to try and go as fast as we can here. right, we got 2.5 barrels. All right, so let's weigh this up and see how much we have weight-wise for $1.10 a pound. And the clock says 9:05. That took us 35 minutes to do that. All right, so I know this barrel weighs 23 pounds, so we're gonna have to take 23 pounds off of this weight. All right, it's off the ground. Ooh, that's pretty good. 113 pounds minus 23. All right, let's weigh the other ones up. All right, so that barrel also weighs 113. So that's 180 pounds of wire so far, and I got a little half barrel to go. All right, so this barrel weighs 11.5 pounds. Or we'll just say 12 to make it easy. All right, so that's 39 pounds minus the 12. All right, so let me go and figure the numbers out, and I'll get right back with you on this one here. And then we'll go ahead and strip down the good wire there so we can make our money back. All right. Okay, so here's the numbers that I come up with from that. Turned out to be 207 pounds of the 65% recovery, which pays $1.10. $227.70. And then when you add it onto the ribbon wire and the other stuff I already turned in, we're at $257.95, which puts us about, roughly $35 away from our cost. All right, guys, so we just came back from the scrap yard and we emptied all these buckets out. All that wire we just stripped down. I took it to the scrapyard and sold it. So let me show you what we got for it. All right, so I had 207 pounds of that wire, and right there, the copper light number 2 pays $1.10 a pound. I turned in 233 because I already had some. So, and also I had some copper aluminum radiators that I turned in 14 pounds for $1.75 a pound. So it gave me a total of $281. But the 207 pounds that I got from this auction itself, that come out to $227.70. So you add that onto the ribbon wire that I turned in, and then the low recovery wire that I feel I got gypped on. That comes to a total of $257.95 that we have recovered so far from this auction, and we are in at $291. So a few more bucks and we're going to be break even. Here's what I get a strip down here. Now this is all going to turn out to be, some of this is going to be number 2 wire because it's got a silver coating on it, and then the rest is going to be bare bright. So before I got started on that wire, I found I had 3 boxes of this coaxial wire, which, you know, a majority of the coaxial wire is not really worth anything, but this particular stuff happens to have a copper coating on it instead of aluminum. So I will strip this down, and then you can pull that center core out of there, just like that. And then this is steel. You know, if you strip that down, it looks like copper, but don't be confused. That's steel in there. There's a magnet. Holds to the magnet. That's steel in there. But this is copper. Look how easy it comes off of there. Slides right off. All right, I had 3 boxes of this, so I was just breaking this down before I got into stripping my wire, because you'll be surprised at how much copper we're going to end up with this. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then I'm going to weigh it. This is the second box that I got into. Here's the first one that I did, and that's got about 5 pounds of copper in it. Here. All right, I'll get back to you when I get it all stripped down. All right, so I got my scales zeroed, and I'm going to throw this coaxial copper on the that I would normally just throw away. A lot of times you'll get that coaxial and it's got that aluminum sheeting on it, but this was copper. And yes, I tested it, I scraped it, and it is definitely copper, 100% copper. So what was going to go in the shred ends up in my number 2 copper bucket. So let's go ahead and dump this in here. 7.15 pounds of copper that was going to go into shred. Good save there. Good thing that I happened to look at that before I threw it in there. Okay, let's get on to the stripping this wire. Okay, I just wanted to bring us up to date here. After doing that coaxial, and then I forgot about the Cat 5 wire that I already turned in, $56. So all of that comes to a grand total of $341.96 that we've recovered so far from that $291.52 auction. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and strip this down, and we are going to get a final tabulation on how much money we made from this wire auction. All right. Okay, so we finished stripping down all that wire, and right here, as you can see, this was all silver coated and counts as number 2 wire. And then here is the bare bright that we got out of it. So let's go ahead and weigh it up here. So we'll weigh the bare bright up, and this tub weighs 11.5 pounds. So we come up with 33.6 minus 11.5. So that's roughly about 22 pounds of bare bright. And we'll weigh up the number 2. So the number 2 comes up to 81.6 minus 11.5 pounds. So that comes up to about 70 pounds. We'll just mark it down at 70. Okay, I'll get back with you with the final results of this auction that cost us $291.52. Okay, so here's what I came up with. The Bear Bright, we had 22 pounds. The last price was $4.20, and that gave us $92.40. The number 2 copper, we had 70 pounds of that at $3.90. That's $273 for a total of $365.40. And then when you add what we've done already, the ribbon wire and low recovery wire, the coaxial, and the Cat 5, and you add all that together, and that came to a total revenue of $707.36 on that auction. That cost us $291.52. That's a great auction for us. All right, we're happy with that. All right, so we're happy with that auction there, and you can see the Bear Bright and the number 2 that we've got to get to the scrapyard. So that's going to be the end of this video. All right, we got to get our scrap to the scrapyard so we can get paid.
Have fun.
Thanks for watching.